Afternoon, everyone. So we'll start the session in another 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, we'll just wait for a few more minutes. Let everyone join. And today we'll directly start with the notebook. Okay, I will directly start with the notebook. No more going around the linear regression. Good afternoon, everyone. I see this is the strength. Yeah, good afternoon, Tarun. Good afternoon, Sri. Good afternoon, Mohan. Good afternoon, Jagdish. Good afternoon, Lakshmi. Good afternoon, Vaishnavi, Yuvraj. Good afternoon, Karthik. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Fine. Okay. So, everyone, please open your collab notebook. Please open the collab notebooks, everyone. Okay. We'll start with that. Okay. Let me just open my collab also. I will share. Okay. Is my screen visible? Everyone please open the Colab, and I'm sharing my window. Okay, I'm sharing my Colab window. Okay, let me just reshare it once again. Okay, so now what we will be doing is we will be implementing the linear regression model. Okay, we will implement the linear regression model. Remember the definition of linear regression model? It is a statistical analysis, right? Statistical analysis which measures the relationship between a dependent variable and an independent variable. And the goal of that linear regression is for to minimize the error between the actual and the predicted, right? And by minimizing that, it will find the best fit line. Correct. So, and there were few assumptions also. Yesterday, few of us are able to understand the assumptions, few of us are unable to understand the assumptions. Correct. So, if my voice is not clear, also let me know. Let me just rename this file as linear regression. Okay, linear reg. Okay, now initially what we need to do, see everyone opened their collab and they have got this new file, right? Everyone do along with me, okay? Do along with me. Yeah. So initially first here you will be seeing connect. Just click on connect, okay? Click connect and it will be turning into connecting, okay? Let's just wait, let it connect, okay? Yeah, now it is connected. Yeah, it is connected and we can also use this analyze files with Gemini or else directly we can generate the code over here through this or else we can start typing. We'll just start typing, okay? We'll just use the basic commands, okay? Now initially what are the main libraries, what are the major libraries guys which are required? What are the main libraries which are required guys? One is pandas, the other one is NumPy, pandas. Correct, NumPy and pandas are the main important libraries. So let me just import those libraries, okay? Let me just first import those libraries. Okay, so import numpy as np. Okay, and also import pandas as pd. Let me just run this. Okay, so once I got a green tick, then those libraries are imported. But I want a data set, right? So there were already data sets present. Okay, there were already few of the data sets present in the Seaborn. Okay, see, let's say so how it will be present is like they were only they were already predefined data sets. Okay, they were already predefined data sets which are present. Okay, in the Seaborn library, there were this predefined data sets. Okay, I think screen share has to just a minute. Just a minute. Let me just pull out that only single window. Okay, now is it visible? Is it visible, guys? Okay, now we need C1. Okay, in C1, as I told, we will be having a preloaded data sets. Okay, so let me just import the C1 here only. Import Seaborn as we will be importing Seaborn as SNS. Remember matplotlib and Seaborn? Seaborn is another library, correct? So let me just run this cell. So now we are having these three libraries, correct? And what I told in the Seaborn only, we can get the data set, right? So now df equals to SNS dot. We'll see what are all the things present algorithms, external bar plot, box plot. Initially I told, right? Mostly C1 is used for plotting, right? I told you, right? So let me just type L. Load dataset I'm getting. Well, let me just type get dataset names. Okay, get dataset names. Let's see this. Let's once check this, okay? Let's once check this. What we'll be getting. So what kind of data sets it is having? It is having a data sets about anagrams, Anscombe, attention, brain network, about the car crashes, about diamonds, about dots, about Dow Jones, exercise, flights, fMRI, geyser, glow, health, iris, MPG, penguins, planets, sea ice, taxis, tips, and Titanic. Okay, Titanic is a famous data set. Okay, so let's say even iris is also famous, but let's take only iris. Okay, we'll take iris now instead of so this is how we get the data set. Let me just give this a variable as a. It will be better for us in order to consider df. Okay, now what I will be doing is df is equals to sns dot load data set, and in here I will mention iris. Okay, and let me just give df. So now I have loaded the iris dataset. Everyone understood how did I load the iris dataset? Everyone understood how did we load the dataset? C1 is a see Imtiaz, the C1 is a library, okay? It's same like matplotlib, which is just for the visualization purpose. Okay, C1 is a library just for visualization purpose. Okay, everyone understood how did I load the library? Show the above. Okay, so this is above. Let me just keep it in this way. Now it's fine for me. So everyone able to see the collab tab? Everyone able to see the collab tab? Okay, so initially what I did, I have imported the libraries, and then I have got the dataset names. Okay, I got the dataset names. Then what I did, then I have picked the iris data. I have picked the iris data. Then I have loaded that iris data. Okay, as these datasets, as these datasets are present only in Seaborn, only C1 I have loaded the iris data set. Once check. So once you also please try from your end. Once it is done, let me know. Okay. Try from your end. Once it is done, let me know. Done? Fine. Okay, now initially what are the five major things which we need to do after reading the dataset is the first major thing. We have read the dataset and we are having the columns, right? Sepal length, sepal width, petal width, and species. So first, abo. Abo is nothing but how we are getting those library names and also how we are loading the whatever the data sets which are present in the Seaborn. Okay, in the Seaborn మనకు Seaborn లో కూడా డేటా సెట్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఓకేనా, అందులో ఏమేం డేటా సెట్స్ ఉన్నాయో అని మనం చూసి అందులో నుంచి మనం ఐరిస్ డేటా సెట్ ని సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకున్నాం. ఇస్ ఆర్ క్లియర్ ఎవ్రీవన్? సో మనం ఫస్ట్ ఏమేమి ఉన్నాయో చెక్ చేసాము. ఫస్ట్ లైబ్రరీస్ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసి ఏ డేటా సెట్స్ ఉన్నాయో Seaborn లో చెక్ చేసుకొని దెన్ వీ హ్యావ్ లోడెడ్ ద ఐరిస్ డేటా సెట్. ఓకే, then now what we'll be doing, initially we need to understand the data set, correct? And if there is any disturbance from my side, please let me know. Okay, so now ఇప్పుడు నేను ఈ పర్టికులర్ డేటా ఎలా ఉందో చెప్పి I need to make sure, I need to understand what kind of domain this particular data is related to. So I don't know, right? Let me just take a new tab and let me just type sepal and sepal width, or else it is saying species Setosa, right? Let me just type Setosa. And let me just check images. Okay. So these are the three things which we are having, right? Like versicolor, Setosa virginica. If you see over here also, Setosa virginica, we are having in the species, right? Setosa virginica. And if you see over here, these are called as sepal. These are called as sepals. Okay, the one in this shape are called as petals. I mean, yeah, this one are petals and this one is sepal. Okay. Okay, fine. Now, what can we understand from this? మనకి ఏమర్థమవుతుంది చూసాక? సో దిస్ ఈస్ రిలేటెడ్ టు ఏ ఫ్లవర్. ఇది ఒక ఫ్లవర్ కి సంబంధించిన డేటా సెట్. And if the flower petals are in this shape, those are called as sepals. And if it is in this shape, those are called as petals. See, that is what we can understand, right? That is what we can understand. So these are something clear images. These are somewhat clear images. These are sepals, and the petal is that side, correct? So I can clearly say this is related to a flower data set, correct? Flower data set. So for that sepals, they were having a length and a width. Okay. And for petal also, they are having a length and a width. Okay. And those length and width values we are having here. Fine. And to which species it belong to, which kind of flower it is. So we can say for Setosa, these are the sepal and the petal width. Okay. Sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width. So in a similar way, it is for Virginica also. Okay. So up to here, did we understand how the dataset is? Everyone understood how the dataset is? Okay, fine. Now what we need to do initially, we need to find the shape of our data. Shape of our data. Even here also, we will get to see the shape. But that is a good practice initially to know the shape. Okay, df dot shape. Okay, df dot shape. Let's see. So 150 of 5. What is 150 here? 150 values. 150 values. But we are having 149 here because it is starting from the 0th index. Okay, it is starting from the 0th index. So that is the reason we are having 149 over here. So totally it is 150. So it is 150 rows over here and 5 columns over here. Okay, fine. So this is the shape. After shape, what we need to do? What do we need to do after the shape? We need to know the info, right? The information of this particular data. df.info. Okay. If I do df.info, what I got? I'm having sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, and species. And if you see non-null count, not a null. There were 150 not null, 150 not null, 150 not null values, 150 not null values. Total, even our row values are 150. So even each and every non-null value is also 150. So that they are no null values. Okay, there were no null values over here. And the data type, if you observe only for species, it is object. Object is nothing but it is in a textual format. Okay. If in pandas data frame, if you see data type of as an object, then that means that okay. Okay. So yeah, we are having 150 rows, and here also we are having 150 nominal values. Then yeah, if it is if the data type is object, then it is categorical kind of data. Correct. Correct. Okay. Thank you, Ganesh. Fine. Now what we need to do? We need to what we need to do, guys? After doing the info, It's data types, okay, D types. Yeah, we can describe. Okay, yeah, data. So we can do a few more things. Can we get the shape and info at the same time? Yeah. So shape and info not at the same time. Check duplicates and describe correct. And Venkatasai, to answer your question, can we get the shape and info at a time? Yeah, we can get the shape and info at a time if you are printing both the things in one single cell. Okay. In one single cell, if you are doing the same thing, we can get the shape and info. Here we are getting to know how many rows are there and how many columns. So it's like almost the same. Almost the same. We'll be getting to know how many rows are there, how many columns are there. But it's better if we show it in this separate. Okay. Instead of considering the shape over here also, it's better if we show in separate cells. Okay. Okay, fine. Now let me just do the D types. Even here also we can see the D types. So as a good practice, let me just type D types, df.d types, and we got what sepal length is float 64. So it is a float format, and all other columns like the width of the petal and sepal, and also length of the petal and sepal are in the float format, but only species is in the object format. Okay, fine. Now, yeah. So let me just check the null values. Okay, df dot is null. If there is any null, then let me know what is the null values count in each and every single column. So in sepal length, I'm having 0 null values. Sepal width, I'm having 0 null. Petal length 0. Petal width is also 0. Fine. This is fine. Okay. This is fine. So now let me just check. So let me do describe also. Df dot describe. Okay. So this is about a sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width count, mean, standard deviation, minimum. 25% of the data is around 5, 50% of the data is around 5.8, 75% of the data is around 6.4, and maximum is 7.9. Okay, fine. So this is about the sepal length only. Sepal width, it is different again. Petal length is different, and petal width also it is different. Okay. Okay, fine. So we are done with the describe also. So now what we'll do is we'll just check for duplicates. Okay. Is my voice clear now, Irfan? Now we'll check for from D type. So after doing the info, I did df dot d types. Okay, I did df dot d types. Okay, d types is nothing but the data types. Okay, d types is nothing but data types. So what is the data types from this for sepal length? This is the data type. Float 64 is the data type. For species, object is the data type. Okay. So and then I have did df dot is null dot sum. Okay, is null dot sum. So now I have checked the null values also. There were no null values. And then immediately I did describe. So Mahadev, the describe means, so let's consider for sepal width now. The count, total how many values? 150 values. Fine. What is the mean of those 150 values? 3.0 point, like 0 and the continuation. And the standard deviation is 0.4. The minimum value is nothing but 2.0. Okay. 2.0. And the 25% of the data is around 2.8. Okay. And 50% of the data is around 3.2 again. 75% of the data is around 3.3 and the maximum value is 4.4. Did you understand, Mahadev? Yeah, we'll check the duplicates. Okay. Yeah, Abhinay Bharatwaj, whatever the columns which have been created and whatever the data which has been inputted, all the columns data type is present in the format of float 64 only. But this will not be the same. Okay. This will not be the same for each and every data set. Okay. It will be different. Okay. So now, yeah, let's check duplicates. Okay. So what is the syntax for checking duplicates, guys? What is the syntax? Df dot df dot duplicated dot sum. Correct. Let's run this. So anyone check the duplicate? Yeah, correct. Yeah, it's duplicated dot sum. Yeah. So now we are having one duplicate, right? We need to drop the duplicate. We need to drop the duplicate. How to drop that duplicate? Sureka, were you not able to hear me? Everyone able to hear my voice clearly? Yeah. We need to drop the duplicate now. Okay, so let me just drop the duplicate. So df dot drop duplicates in place equals to true. Okay, everyone know in why we use in place equals to true, right? Yeah, correct. So let me just drop this. Sorry, I clicked. I have created a new cell. Let me just paste it over there. Okay, and let me just call df dot duplicated dot sum once again. Okay, so now I'm not having any duplicates. Yeah, in place, yeah, correct. Original data will be in the original data also. It will be reflecting. Correct, Lakshman. So everyone understood, right? So initial గా నేను ఏం చేసా ఫస్ట్ C1 లైబ్రరీ లోడ్ చేసుకొని ఆ లైబ్రరీలో ప్రీ లోడెడ్ ఆర్ఎల్స్ ప్రీ అప్లోడెడ్ డేటా సెట్స్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో వాటి నేమ్స్ అన్ని చెక్ చేశాను. ఇప్పుడు నా దగ్గర డేటా సెట్ లేదు కానీ నాకు వర్క్ చేయాలని ఉంది, నాకు ఎక్స్ప్లోర్ అవ్వాలని ఉంది. సో దట్ దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ ద ప్రీ లోడెడ్ డేటా సెట్స్ విచ్ ఆర్ ప్రజెంట్ ఇన్ ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్. ఓకే, అప్పుడు ఐ కెన్ పిక్ ఎనీ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద డేటా సెట్. సో నాకు ఇనిషియల్ గా ఐరిస్ డేటా సెట్ మీద వర్క్ చేయాలని ఉంది. సో అది లోడ్ చేశాను. అది ఎలా లోడ్ చేసా? లోడ్ అండర్ స్కోర్ డేటా సెట్ అని చెప్పి ఆ మెథడ్ తోని లైక్ ఆ మెథడ్ యూస్ చేసి I have loaded the Irish dataset. Okay. Then immediately what I did, after loading the dataset, I just checked about what kind of data it is and what kind of domain it is. And then I have dived into all the things, the shape, the info, and the D types, and also isNull.sum, describe, and finding the duplicates. ఏమైనా duplicates ఉన్నాయా? ఓకే, ఒక డూప్లికేట్ ఉంది. సో ఆ డూప్లికేట్ వాల్యూని తీసేయండి. అండ్ ఆల్సో ఇక్కడ మనకు ఇంకొక పారామీటర్ ఉంటుంది. అది ఏంటంటే లైక్ టు రిమూవ్ ద ఎంటైర్ రో. ఓకే, టు రిమూవ్ ద ఎంటైర్ రో. అండ్ ఆల్సో దెర్ ఇస్ దిస్ కీప్ పారామీటర్. ఓకే, కీప్ ఈక్వల్స్ టు ఫస్ట్. ఓకే, ఇఫ్ ఐ డూ దిస్, ఇప్పుడు నేను కీప్ ఫస్ట్ అని చెప్పి ఇచ్చి రన్ చేశాను అనుకోండి సెల్, వాట్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ హ్యాపెన్స్ ఈస్ ఫస్ట్ ఇప్పుడు డూప్లికేట్స్ అంటే సేమ్ రో మల్టిపుల్ టైమ్స్ రిపీట్ అవుతుందనే కదా అర్థం. సో అదే రో వాల్యూస్ మళ్ళీ రిపీట్ అవుతున్నాయని అర్థం. మనం ఎందుకు డూప్లికేట్స్ ని డ్రాప్ చేస్తాము? మన మోడల్ అదే రో మీద మళ్ళీ ట్రైన్ అవుతుంది అనుకోండి, ఇట్ విల్ బి గెటింగ్ బయాస్డ్. ఓకే, ఆ పర్టికులర్ పారామీటర్ సైడ్ వచ్చే అవుట్పుట్ నే ప్రతి ఒక్క దానికి ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ అయిపోతుంది. ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు వేరే డిఫరెంట్ ఇన్పుట్ ఇచ్చి ప్రెడిక్ట్ చేయమన్నా కూడా ఆ పర్టికులర్ వాల్యూస్ యొక్క అవుట్పుట్ ఏదైతే ఉందో అదే అవుట్పుట్ నీకు ఇస్తుంది. సో ఇన్ ఆర్డర్ టు మేక్ షూర్ అవర్ మోడల్ ఈస్ నాట్ బీయింగ్ బయాస్డ్, ఓకే, మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే ఆ డూప్లికేట్స్ ని డ్రాప్ చేస్తాము. ఆ డ్రాప్ చేసే టైంలో కూడా వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ అన్ ఆప్షన్ కాల్డ్ కీప్. కీప్ ఏంటంటే కీప్ లో మనకు 2 వాల్యూస్ ఉంటాయి, ఫస్ట్ అండ్ లాస్ట్. ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ అని పెట్టాను అనుకోండి, మన మన ఫస్ట్ ఇప్పుడు ఒక 2 వాల్యూస్ 2 రోస్ తీసుకుందాం. లెట్స్ సే 5th రో అండ్ 9th రో. 5th రోలో రిపీట్ అయ్యే వాల్యూస్ 9th రోలో కూడా రిపీట్ అవుతున్నాయి. సో ఇప్పుడు నేను 5th రోలో వాల్యూస్ ఉంచమని చెప్తున్నాను, 9th రోలో రిపీట్ అయిన వాల్యూస్ ని తీసేయమని చెప్తున్నాను. ఓకేనా? కీప్ ఫస్ట్ అంటే ఫస్ట్ రిపీట్ అయ్యే వాల్యూని, ఐ మీన్ ద ఫస్ట్ మేజర్ వాల్యూని ఉంచుతాయి, అలాగే లాగే రిపీట్ అయ్యే వాల్యూస్ ని తీసేస్తాయి. ఇప్పుడు కీప్ లాస్ట్ అని పెడితే ద ఫస్ట్ రిపీట్ అయ్యే వాల్యూస్ ని తీసేస్తాయి, లాస్ట్ కి రిపీట్ అయ్యే వాల్యూస్ ని ఉంచుతాయి. ఓకేనా? Is that clear? Key first and key last difference, everyone. And by default, it will be key first only, okay? Okay, so everyone do until here and let me know. Everyone please do until here and let me know. Okay, I see everyone is done. It's fine. We'll proceed, okay? We'll proceed. Now, what we need to do, we need to check the value counts, right? We need to check the value counts for which one? Which one we need to check? We need to check for ఆబ్జెక్ట్ కాలమ్ కరెక్ట్. వీటికి వాల్యూ కౌంట్స్ చెక్ చేస్తే ప్రతి ఒక్క వాల్యూ లైక్ ఎవ్రీ వాల్యూ విల్ బి సంథింగ్ డిఫరెంట్ ఇన్ న్యూమరికల్. బట్ మనకి ఇక్కడ కేటగిరికల్ కాలమ్స్ కి వాల్యూ కౌంట్స్ చెక్ చేద్దాం ఒకసారి. స్పీసీస్ అనే కేటగిరికల్ కాలమ్ ఉంది మన దగ్గర. సో లెట్స్ చెక్. సో ఇనిషియల్ గా అసలు కాలమ్స్ అన్నిటిని లిస్ట్ చేద్దాం ఫస్ట్. సో డిఎఫ్ డాట్ కాలమ్స్, దెన్ డిఎఫ్ ఆఫ్ స్పీసీస్, ఈ స్పీసీస్ కి డాట్ value underscore counts. Okay, value underscore counts. So let's run this. So manaku ఇంతకుముందు వర్జినికాలో we are having, like previously in the Virginica we are having a duplicate color, I mean duplicate flower row, correct? So we have just dropped that. Now it has reduced it to 49, correct? Now it has reduced it to 49. So now what we'll be doing is, now what we need to do, anyone, what we need to do? I'm sharing my screen, Satya. Correct. Correct, Namisha. We need to do label encoding now. Okay, so what is the library to load the label encoder? What is the library to load the label encoder, guys? Correct, Anusha. It is sklearn. So initially, I need to check if sklearn is present in my system, right? Print sklearn dot underscore version. Let's check. No, scikit is not defined. It is saying just let me give sklearn. Sklearn is not defined. Okay, so let me just directly import that. If it is present, I'll just get that library. Import sklearn dot. Yeah, it is present. Pre-processing. Sklearn, import sklearn pre-processing. Not import. We need to do from sklearn import. Okay. From sklearn pre-processing, import label encoder. Label encoder. Yeah. Okay. So this is how we import a label encoder library, which is present in the pre-processing module from the sklearn. Okay, from sklearn. Everyone, is my screen visible? Everyone, my screen is visible, right? Yeah. Satya, please check your internet connection. Okay, Satya, Renuka, please check your internet connection, guys. Okay, because I'm sharing my screen. So fine. Okay, so now let me just okay, fine. So let me just assign a variable to this as LA is equals to label encoder. Okay, I'm running this. So I'm storing the label encoder in this variable LA. So now, what column do I need to label encode? the object data type, right? So let me just give df of species okay. This is here we need to mention species, then I need to call this label encoder dot, and I want that label encoder to fit transform, to fit and transform what column? The species column, okay. Scaling is not required over here, okay. Scaling is not required over here because all the values are within a certain range only. If you see the minimum and the maximum value, okay, all are in the minimal range only. So scaling is not required over here, okay. So Mahadev's label encoder is nothing but we will be encoding the labels. Encoding the labels is nothing but converting the categorical column values into numerical, okay. Converting the categorical column values into numerical. So now what I am doing? Okay, yeah, thank you, Banu. And yeah, Mahadev, did you understand? Yeah, okay. లేబుల్ ఎన్కోడింగ్ ఎందుకు చేస్తామంటే మన కేటగిరికల్ కాలంలో మన కేటగిరికల్ కాలం డేటా టైప్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఉంటుంది. సో ఆ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఉంటే మనం దాన్ని కేటగిరికల్ కాలం అంటాం. అలాంటి టెక్స్చువల్ కాలం ని మనం న్యూమరికల్ లోకి మార్చడానికి, నెంబర్ లోకి మార్చడానికి లేబుల్ ఎన్కోడింగ్ చేస్తాం. సరే, నెంబర్ లోకి ఎందుకు మార్చాలి? నెంబర్ లోకి ఎందుకు మార్చాలి అంటే మన మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ మోడల్స్ అన్ని న్యూమరికల్ డేటాని అర్థం చేసుకుంటాయి. ఓకేనా? సో దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ విల్ డూ ద లేబుల్ ఎన్కోడింగ్. లెట్ మీ జస్ట్ రన్ దిస్ సెల్. సో నౌ species. Now let's check df once. Okay, I'll not check in this. I'll check df of species dot value concept. Okay. Value concept. So now previously setosa 0. I mean setosa ki 50 values. So versicolor ki 50 values and virginica ki 49. So in that case I can say setosa is 0, versicolor is 1 and virginica is 2. Okay. Is that clear? So label encoding అయిపోయింది. Label encoding అయ్యాక what is the next thing we need to do? Scaling. But scaling is not required over here, correct? And immediately what we can do? What do we need to do? Split the data, correct? Correct, Anusha. So let me just take in, yeah, correlation is not required over here, correct? Here, okay. Correct. Okay, Bharat. Okay, Bharat, watch. Why? Okay. So Bharatwaj, why scaling is not required? You are asking, right? So scaling is not required because if you see the values over here when we are yeah doing this minimum and the maximum, it is in between 4.3 to 7.9. A maximum flower sepal and petal length could be in that range only. Correct. So that is the reason the scaling is not required. Even in the scaling, what we do, min max scalar will be -1 to 1. Correct. And standard scalar, sorry, min max is 0 to 1 and standard is -1 to 1, right? So even that will also bring under one single range only. So instead of doing that, as it is already in a minimal range, so that is the reason we're not applying that particular scalar. Okay, is it clear, Bharatwaj and the others who are having the doubt like why are we not applying the scalar or else scale? Okay, okay, fine, fine. Okay, Lakshman, yeah, we can also do the mapping, but the mapping is nothing but that label encoding. Okay, and I don't recall the name correctly. Someone was asking about the one hot encoding also. We can also apply one hot encoding, but here it is not necessary. Okay. So let's split our data. Okay. Now x is equals to, so in the x I need to have only independent columns. So let me just drop. Okay. The easiest way to consider all the independent column is to drop the dependent column, but don't do in place. Okay. Don't do in place. So let me just mention the column name, comma, axis equals to 1, and similarly y is equals to df of species. Okay. So now see, what is the thing we are having? In the x, I want to drop only species, and I have mentioned where exactly that species is. Axis 1 means column. Okay. All the column labels it will be searching. If I mention axis 1, if I mention axis 2, in the row it will be searching. Okay. If I want to drop a row, I can drop it. So let me just do this splitting. Okay. So now let's see the x. 149, 4 columns, sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width. And similarly, let's check y. Sorry. Yeah, let's check y. We are having only one single column, that is species, correct? So up to here, and everything is clear, right? Anyone, any more doubts? Yeah, Akash, encoding. Yeah, label encoding it is. If you are asking about that. So can I proceed forward in that case? Everyone, I'm asking each and everyone, can I proceed forward? Yeah, fine. Okay, one more question. One of our friend is asking that. So we are removing species. We are removing species in the X. Okay. We are removing species. Okay. We are dropping species in the X. We are directly mentioning it. 1 minute, guys. సో ఇక్కడ మనము యాక్సిస్ 1 అని ఎందుకు మెన్షన్ చేస్తున్నామని వన్ ఆఫ్ అవర్ ఫ్రెండ్ ఇస్ హ్యావింగ్ ఏ డౌట్. సో ఇప్పుడు నేను డైరెక్ట్ కానీ స్పీసీస్ అని మెన్షన్ చేశాను, డ్రాప్ చేయమని చెప్తున్నాను. కానీ స్పీసీస్ ఎక్కడుందో అని దానికి ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది? సో మనం యాక్సిస్ మెన్షన్ చేస్తాం. అది ఇప్పుడు రోలో ఉందా కాలంలో ఉందా అనేది ఇట్ షుడ్ అండర్స్టాండ్, రైట్? సో ఇన్ ఆర్డర్ టు మేక్ షూర్ it is understanding where to search for and drop it, we'll mentioning axis 1 or axis 0. Axis 0 is row, axis 1 is label columns. Okay, column labels లో column లో ఉన్న values లో in the columns we are having these columns, right? This column, this one we'll call it as a column labels. Okay, వీటిలో సెర్చ్ చేయడానికి మనం యాక్సిస్ 1 అని అంటాం. ఇక్కడ సెర్చ్ చేయడానికి యాక్సిస్ 0 అని పెడతాం, ఎందుకంటే రో వాల్యూస్ ని సెర్చ్ చేయడానికి ఇట్ విల్ బి యాక్సిస్ 0 and axis 1 means column. Okay, is that clear everyone? And Mahadev, you asked it, right? Is that clear? Fine. So మనం x లో నుంచి x అనే వేరియబుల్ కి ఈ కాలమ్ ని డ్రాప్ చేసి మిగతా అన్ని కాలమ్స్ ని కన్సిడర్ చేయని చెప్పాం. సో ఇన్ అ సిమిలర్ వే ఇట్ అండర్స్టూడ్ అండ్ it is considering sepal length, sepal width, petal length and petal width. Okay, and similarly we are having y where we are having only species. Okay, species is nothing but our target column. Now what is this? All these columns are independent columns. Okay, independent columns. ఈ వాల్యూ ఆ వాల్యూకి ఇండిపెండెంట్. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఈ సెపల్ లెంత్, సెపల్ విడ్త్, పెటల్ లెంత్, పెటల్ విడ్త్, ఇప్పుడు నేను వచ్చేసి ఐ కెన్ సే ఇవి ఒక ఫ్లవర్, వేరే ఫ్లవర్ లైక్ దతురా ఫ్లవర్ ఇవి కూడా అయ్యి ఉండొచ్చు అని అంటాను. అప్పుడు మీరు కూడా చెప్పలేరు అవును అయ్యి ఉండొచ్చు అని చెప్తారు. ఎందుకంటే these values are independent. That is how I am saying these values are independent. Okay, and these values are dependent. ఈ సెటోసా వర్సికలర్ వర్జినికా అంటే ఏంటి, ఫ్లవర్స్ అనేది తెలుసు, కానీ అసలు అది ఎందుకు వచ్చింది ఫ్లవర్స్ అని అయితే మనకు తెలుసు. బట్ వై దట్ పర్టికులర్ రో, I mean those values are existing because of these previous values, sepal and the petal. So that is the reason that column is dependent. Okay, that is how you need to identify the target column. Okay, is it clear how to identify target column, everyone, guys? Clear, everyone? My internet you're saying, or else is my voice clear, right? Okay, so okay, Mahadev, Janvi, what did I explain is ఏం చెప్పానంటే ఇండిపెండెంట్ కాలమ్స్ ని, డిపెండెంట్ కాలమ్స్ ని ఇంకా క్లియర్ గా ఎలా ఐడెంటిఫై అయ్యాలో చెప్పాను. ఏంటి, ఇప్పుడు నేను ఈ సెపల్ లెంత్, సెపల్ విడ్త్, పెటల్ లెంత్, పెటల్ విడ్త్ ఈ వాల్యూస్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, ఈ కాలమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఈ కాలమ్ వాల్యూస్ ఉన్నాయి కదా. సో ఇప్పుడు నేను ఈ ఫ్లవర్ ని చూసి ఈ ఫ్లవర్ పేరు సెటోసా అని చెప్పి గుర్తుపట్టి, సో ఆ ఫ్లవర్ కి అలా ఉంటాయని చెప్పేసి ఇనిషియల్ గా నేను డాటాని అర్థం చేసుకున్నా. బట్ ఇప్పుడు నాకు మెయిన్ కాలమ్ లేదు కదా, ఈ వాల్యూస్ ఇట్ కుడ్ బి రిలేటెడ్ టు ఈవెన్ ఎ దతురా ఫ్లవర్ ఆల్సో. దతురా ఫ్లవర్, everyone has heard about దతురా ఫ్లవర్, రైట్, డ్యూరింగ్ యువర్ స్కూలింగ్. సో మనకు దతురా ఫ్లవర్ ఉంటుంది. నేనేమనుకుంటున్నా అంటే ఈ వాల్యూస్ కుడ్ బి రిలేటబుల్ టు ద దతురా ఫ్లవర్ ఆల్సో. కరెక్ట్, రైట్, బికాస్ మనకి ఇక్కడ ఉన్న కాలమ్స్ ని బట్టి ఐ కాంట్ సే ఈ వాల్యూస్ దేనికి సంబంధించినవి అని చెప్పేసి. సో దట్ ఈస్ వై దీస్ కాలమ్స్ ఆర్ ఇండిపెండెంట్ టు ఈచ్ అదర్. ఓకేనా, అందుకే ఈ కాలమ్స్ ఇండిపెండెంట్ అనేసి చెప్తున్నా. ఇస్ దట్ క్లియర్? అండ్ కమింగ్ ఇన్ టు వై స్పీసీస్ వచ్చేసి మనకి ఏమున్నాయి ప్రీవియస్ గా, ఇట్ ఈస్ సెటోసా వర్సికలర్ వర్జినికా. సరే, సెటోసా వర్సికలర్ వర్జినికా అంటే ఫ్లవర్స్ అని నాకు తెలుసు, బట్ ఈ పర్టికులర్ డేటా సెట్ తో ఏంటి సంబంధం? దెన్ I will get to know that okay, this 5.1, 3.5, 1.4, 0.2 will be for setosa. Okay, oka setosa flower ki these are the petal length, petal width, sepal width and sepal length values. So now ee particular species ane column ee values paina depend ayi undi. So I can say species column is a dependent column and all these four columns are independent columns. Okay na, ala I mean, in that way, I have identified which are independent and which are dependent columns. I hope it's clear for everyone. No more queries, right? Everyone, Janvi, Sai. Okay, fine. So I'll just proceed forward and please, guys, check your internet connection before texting over here, please. Okay. Now we are having X and Y. Now what we need to do, we need to train, test and split. This is a very important step. Okay, train, test, split. Okay, split, sorry, LIT, split. So what is the library for this? So actually it is already prompting the library, so I'll just write it over here. From sklearn dot model underscore selection, model selection part. Okay, import what I mean, what is the library that I need to import? train, test, and split. I'll just import this library. Okay, I'll just import the library. Okay, the library has been imported, but I need to split that x and y, correct? ఇనిషియల్ గా మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే డేటా సెట్ ని క్లీన్ చేశాక ఎక్స్ అండ్ వై గా డివైడ్ చేస్తాం. ఇండిపెండెంట్ డిపెండెంట్ వేరియబుల్స్ గా డివైడ్ చేసి దాంట్లో మళ్ళీ అప్పుడు 70-30% గా డివైడ్ చేస్తాం. ట్రైనింగ్ టెస్టింగ్ ని డివైడ్ చేస్తాం మనం. ఓకే, సో లెట్ మీ జస్ట్ కాల్ ట్రైన్ టెస్ట్ స్ప్లిట్. ఈ మెథడ్ మొత్తాన్ని కాల్ చేసి అందులో ఐ విల్ బి మెన్షనింగ్ ద ఎక్స్, ది వై అండ్ ఆల్సో ట్రైనింగ్ సైజ్ ఎంత తీసుకోమని చెప్తున్నానంటే I'll just give over here 0.75. 75% of the data no train size కింద తీసుకో, ట్రైనింగ్ కి తీసుకో. 25% ని మాత్రం ప్లీజ్ లీవ్ ఇట్ ఫర్ థింగ్. ఓకే, అండ్ దెన్ లెట్స్ జస్ట్ మెన్షన్ ర్యాండమ్ స్టేట్ ఆల్సో. ర్యాండమ్ స్టేట్ నిన్న డిస్కస్ చేసుకున్నాము. లైక్ ఐ థింక్ మోస్ట్లీ ఎస్టర్డే ఆర్ డే బిఫోర్ ఎస్టర్డే వి హావ్ డిస్కస్డ్ అబౌట్ ర్యాండమ్ స్టేట్, కరెక్ట్? ఇలాగా డివైడ్ చేసుకున్నాం. సరే, ఇది ఎక్స్ అండ్ వై గా డివైడ్ చేసి ఈ ట్రైన్ సైజ్ ని 75% చేసేయాలని చెప్తున్నా. బట్ అవి దేనికి ఇవ్వాలని చెప్తున్నాను? ఐ నీడ్ టు మెన్షన్, రైట్? ఐ నీడ్ టు మెన్షన్ టు విచ్ వాల్యూస్ దట్ ఎక్స్ అండ్ వై షుడ్ బి స్ప్లిటెడ్ ఆర్, కరెక్ట్? ఆ ట్రైన్ వాల్యూ, టెస్ట్ వాల్యూ ఎలా స్ప్లిట్ అవ్వాలో చెప్పాలి కదా. దెన్ నౌ ఐ విల్ బి మెన్షనింగ్ ఎక్స్ ట్రైన్, ఓకే, then followed by x train, y train, and similarly x test, y test. I will be mentioning all those factors. Okay, so everyone understood until here? So let me just write write this line completely. X train, x test line. Okay, x train, and similarly x test and then y train, comma y test. Okay, so now ఇప్పుడు ఏదైతే వాల్యూ ఈ 70-30 డివైడ్ అవుతుందో, 75-25 డివైడ్ అవుతుందో, మనం ఆ వాల్యూస్ ని ఎక్స్ ట్రైన్ వై ట్రైన్ కి 70%. సో ఎక్స్ ట్రైన్ వై ట్రైన్ అంటే ఏంటి? ఎక్స్ ట్రైన్ అంటే ఈ పర్టికులర్ హోల్ ఈ 4 కాలమ్స్ లో ఉన్న 75% ఆఫ్ ది డేటా ఎక్స్ ట్రైన్ లో ఉంటుంది. ఓకేనా? ఎక్స్ టెస్ట్ అంటే ఏంటి? మిగిలిన 25% ఆఫ్ ది డేటా విల్ బి అండర్ ఎక్స్ టెస్ట్. అండ్ సిమిలర్లీ వై ట్రైన్. వాట్ ఈస్ వై ట్రైన్? ట్రైనింగ్ కి ఎంత ఇస్తున్నాం మనం? ట్రైనింగ్ సైజ్ 75%. సో ఈ స్పీసీస్ కాలమ్ లో 75% ఆఫ్ ది డేటా విల్ బి వై ట్రైన్ and 25% of the data will be y test. Okay, so that's how the data will be divided into x train, x test, y train, and y test. Okay, what are those 3 variables in left hand side? See this one. If you're talking about this one, what are you talking about, Abhinay? So ఇక్కడ మనం ట్రైన్ టెస్ట్ మెథడ్ ని కాల్ చేసి then we'll be mentioning the మనం ఇంతకుముందు స్ప్లిట్ చేసుకున్న ఇండిపెండెంట్ అండ్ డిపెండెంట్ కాలమ్స్. We'll be mentioning them inside the train test split, and then the train size we'll provide and the random state ni provide chesi, then we'll call the cell run ayindi. Okay na? Let's check x train. Okay, x train shape ela undo check cheddam మనం first. X train dot shap. So in a similar way, let me just print all the train and the test shapes. Okay, print x train x train shape. Okay, x train shape, x train dot shape. Okay, so yeah, x train dot shape. Yeah, there is a syntax error also. Let me just see. Yeah, it's outside, right? So what is the x train shape here? extend shape is 111, 4. In a similar way, I'll just print all the 4, okay? ఇక్కడ extend బదులు xtest ఇస్తాం, xtest, okay? In a similar way, ఇక్కడ కూడా వాల్యూ చేంజ్ చేసి ఇక్కడ వైట్ ట్రైన్ అండ్ ఇక్కడ వైట్ ట్రైన్, ఓకే, అండ్ ఇక్కడ టెస్ట్, it will be y, okay? Fine. Okay, see the shape over here, see the shape. Xtrain అంటే ఆ 4 కాలమ్స్ యొక్క 75% ఆఫ్ ది డేటా ఎలా ఉంది, 4 కాలమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి, 111 రోస్ ఉన్నాయి, ఓకేనా, 111 రోస్ ఉన్నాయి. అండ్ xtest షేప్ ఎలా ఉంది, టెస్టింగ్ షేప్, మిగిలిన వాల్యూస్ 25% ఆఫ్ ది వాల్యూస్ ఆర్ 38 అండ్ ఆ 4 వాల్యూస్ వచ్చి ఆ 4 కాలమ్స్ అనేది సేమ్ ఉంటాయి టెస్టింగ్ కాబట్టి, ఓకేనా. అండ్ ట్రైనింగ్, I mean y train ఎలా ఉంది, 111 columns again as it is single 111 rows again as it is single column and 38 rows for remaining 25% of the data, okay? This is about the x train and the y train. Everyone understood until now? What about class imbalance, Renuka Sai? Renuka Sai, where do you see a class imbalance over here? Where do you see what is class imbalance actually? మీకు క్లాస్ ఇంబ్యాలెన్స్ అంటే ఏమర్థమైంది, అసలు మీరు ఇక్కడ క్లాస్ ఇంబ్యాలెన్స్ ఎక్కడుంది అంటున్నారో ఒకసారి చెప్పండి. ఐ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ యూ వాట్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ ద క్లాస్ ఇంబ్యాలెన్స్, ఓకే? సో మీరు ఎలా డివైడ్ చేశారు స్ప్లిట్టింగ్, 75 తీసుకున్నారా ట్రైనింగ్ సైజ్, 70 తీసుకున్నారా, అది చెక్ చేసుకోండి మనోజ్, ఓకేనా? ప్లీజ్ చెక్ ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ కన్సిడర్డ్ 75 or 70, ఓకే? Did you class imbalance won't be happening, okay? Class imbalance, I am dividing my data into 75 25 only. 75% of the data training ki, 25% of the data testing ki ichanu. There won't be any class imbalance. Class imbalance is not related to that, okay? Yeah, this is okay, full screen. This is a full screen. There was this variable added again. Okay, fine. Okay, it was removed from here. That is the reason I am getting this issue. Fine, now I won't be having it. Okay. See, మీరు ట్రైన్ సైజ్ మెన్షన్ చేస్తే టెస్ట్ సైజ్ మెన్షన్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. రిమైనింగ్ పర్సంటేజ్ విల్ బి ఫర్ టెస్ట్ సైజ్ ఓన్లీ. ఇక్కడ నేను ట్రైన్ సైజ్ మెన్షన్ చేసా. ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ ట్రైన్, ఇఫ్ ఐ మెన్షన్ టెస్ట్, then no need to mention train for me, okay? That is how we can consider, okay? Now someone was asking about class imbalance. Class imbalance అంటే ఏంటి అంటే, ఇక్కడ మన సెటోసా, వర్సికల, వర్జినికా ఉన్నాయి కదా. సో దీస్ థింగ్స్, ఓకే, దీస్ థింగ్స్ మన సెటోసా 50 ఉంది, వర్సికలర్ 50 ఉంది, వర్జినికా వచ్చేసి ఓన్లీ 2 ఉన్నాయి అనుకోండి, 2 వాల్యూస్ ఉన్నాయి అనుకోండి, then that will be called as a class imbalance, ఓకేనా? క్లాస్ ఇంబ్యాలెన్స్ ఉంటుంది. అప్పుడు మనం smooth process or else we can do gather those data samples and make the class make the data balance, and then we can proceed for building the model. Is that clear? Clear, Renuka Sai? 3 or 50 means it's totally good, right, Venkata Sai? మూడు వాల్యూస్, సింగిల్ కాలంలో 3 వాల్యూస్ 50 ఉన్నాయంటే ప్రతి ఒక్క క్లాస్ కి ఈక్వల్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ డేటా ఉంది మన దగ్గర. ప్రతి ఒక్క వాల్యూ మీద ఈక్వల్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ డేటా ఉంది ట్రైన్ చేయడానికి మోడల్ మీద, ఓకేనా? 350 ఉంటే మనకు అసలు ప్రాబ్లమే ఉండదు. ఓకేనా? See, and Abhinay, good one, good doubt. So X train, X test. Okay, now. So X train, X test will go for X. Okay, will go for X. So similarly, Y train, Y test will go for Y. Okay, Y train, Y test will go for Y. And how, I mean, how many values to go into X train and X test? That will be divided by train size. Okay, train size. And how the values needs to be picked into that X train and the X test, that will be decided by random state. Clear? Apne, is it clear? I am not getting Venkatasai. What you are saying, whole row? This is the whole row of X train and X test. Okay. Okay, fine. So we'll just have a short break for attendance. Okay. So we'll just resume the session after 10 minutes, and yeah, let's have a short break, guys. Attendance link will be shared by Teja sir. Okay. Thank you. If anyone is still having the notes, please mention in the chat. Okay. Thank you, guys. See, Navyashri, whatever the things which are told in the session, you need to follow that and you need to do complete the things. Okay. We were telling what are all the things you people need to do. Okay. You're mentioning each and everything at each and every point of time. So that is the reason we were not answering the question which is being repeated all the time. Okay. Is that clear? We have mentioned previously NASCOM IBM, and yesterday we have mentioned about that ICC portal also. A few students are having issue, and my team and also Teja is trying to resolve those queries. Okay, so please don't ask the repeated questions, please. Is that clear, Prabhu Kishore? Yeah, yeah, Navyashri. We'll be briefing them. Okay, we'll just brief them at the end of the session. I'll definitely brief them. Okay. Now just please have your break and please fill the attendance. And is it clear for you, Prabhu Kishore? Like you're just clearly mentioning, right? Okay. If you're having any doubts, please mention your concern in the chat only. Okay. Fine. Imtiaz, what do you mean by detailed notes? Do you want a detailed documentation of all these steps? In that case, the handouts are having all those things, okay? Please check the drive link which has been provided to you. We have posted a drive link, right? And I have informed that all the re- all the recording handouts or else all the session handouts will be posted over there, and all the notebooks will be available over there. I told you, right? So please refer to the drive link and refer to the handbooks, okay? I mean handouts in the okay handouts. The folder will be handouts. Please refer to that. And Navyashri, please remember me your query in the last 10 to 15 minutes, okay? And please make sure that whatever you're having, if you're having these kind of queries, please ask in the first 10 minutes of the session or else at the last 10 minutes of the session, okay? During the session, if you're asking, I'm missing some of the important questions which are being asked by other people, okay? Is that clear, Navyashri and also Kishore? And is that clear, Imtiaz? Mohammed, if you just scroll up, you'll be finding the attendance link, okay? Scroll down or scroll up. Yeah. Fine. So anyone, any more doubts? So Prashant, if you are updating your attendance in that form, it's totally fine, okay? Please make sure you're mentioning your email ID correctly, okay? It is taking your email ID properly. Is that clear, Prashant? Okay, thank you. Okay. So I'll just give another 3 more minutes. Everyone do finish your attendance. I'll share my screen and we'll build the model and we'll test the accuracy, okay? I'll build the model and test the accuracy, okay? Fine, I'll just give 3 more minutes. Okay, Kishore, we'll just revise all the things which we were doing, okay? Which we were doing in each and every class at the end of the session. And also, tomorrow, like at the start of the session, also we'll be discussing, okay? That is what we are doing. So I'll just repeat shortly once what all we have done, okay? Yeah, yeah. I'll definitely do that, okay? Regarding this exam conducting, what exam you're talking about? Are you talking about the quiz? And Srinivasan, so yeah, if you're not okay, fine. This was an issue for Prashant, right? So do we get the reply of the attendance after the class and after now adding about any reply of my attendance? So please make sure that you are recording your email ID correctly. Okay, if you're recording your email ID correctly, then you'll be getting a confirmation reply. Okay, please make sure that you're mentioning it correctly. And if you're not getting, please check your spam folders. Okay, is that clear, Srinivasan? Yeah, and the attendance link has been posted. It will be deactivated exactly at 4:30. Okay, please make sure that you are giving your attendance and staying in the session for straight 2 hours. Okay, and I don't know, there is no proper name, only the someone is here with their college name. Okay, so what is the course that we have to complete for AML? So AML, to complete this AML course, you need to know you need to know the Python programming up to functions, like up to functions you need to know the Python programming, and then you need to know what is this NumPy, pandas, what are all the operations we can do with the NumPy and pandas, why pandas is mainly useful. You need to know about that. You need to know the visualization libraries, matplotlib and seaborn, and you need to know what kind of plots are present. Okay, and also then you will be diving into the statistics. Okay, you need to know t-test, f-test, z-test, ANOVA test, hypothesis testing, Bayes theorem, central limit theorem, normal distribution, confidence interval, all those concepts you need to know. Then moving forward, you need to know about this machine learning algorithms, and then their evaluation metrics, followed by the classification. In the machine learning, we'll be having both regression and classification algorithms. Okay, even in the classification and regression, there will be different evaluation metrics. Followed by, you will be moving forward with the unsupervised learning algorithms. Then comes the deep learning, which is CNN, RNN, and LSTM. Okay, is that clear? Is that clear regarding the course details? Thank you. So please uh, change your name. Okay. Okay. So Satish, your name is not there in the workshop list. Okay. Yeah, please do that, Pramod. Please do that. Okay. Samyukta, I'll just inform the team that regarding this scenario. Okay. I'll just inform the team regarding this scenario. Okay. Don't worry. Okay. Like what workshop list you're talking about, Satish? Yeah, I have read your message. See, I have read your message. What work could you explain briefly about workshop? Yeah. Explain what workshop you're talking about, Satish. Fine. So let me just go back to this collab note, okay? Collab notebook. Everyone, just go to your collab notes. Let me just open that collab, okay? Just a moment. Yes, Ganesh, you need to apply for internship, and this is it for all the queries. Okay, we'll just discuss in the last 10 minutes. Okay, let's just start with the collab. Okay, fine. So what we did, we have divided our data into x and y. Then we have used the train test split, and we found the shape for the x train, x test, y train, and y test. So now let's call the model. Okay, let's call the model. Okay. So now what we need to write initially to load the model, we need to write from sklearn dot model selection import, and here it should be linear. Okay, linear model import. What is the model that we are using initially? Initially, what model will use? We'll use linear regression. Okay, because yesterday we have discussed about linear regression. Now we will be using this linear regression model. Okay, so let me just run this. Okay, now the linear regression model has been imported. So let me just assign that linear regression a variable called LR. Okay, LR, linear regression LR. Okay, so now this whole model is in this LR variable. Okay, LR variable. Now what we need to do? We need to fit the model. Correct. We need to fit the model. Okay, we need to fit the model. And on what data we need to fit the model? We need to fit the model on training data, right? The model will train on the training data, and then it will predict on the test data. So we need to fit the model on train data. On train data. So to do that, model, okay, the variable will be model and LR dot fit. Okay, dot fit in the brackets. We need to mention x train comma y train. Okay, x train comma y train. Okay. So now let's run this. The model has fit on the x train and the y train. So x train లో ఉన్న values y train మీద ఉన్న values మీద model అనేది train అయ్యింది. ఓకేనా? Model has been completely trained on the x train and the y train. Okay. Let me just predict. See train అయ్యాక predict చేస్తాం. ఓకేనా? Let me just predict that. Okay. So let me just do ypred equals to ఇక్కడ నా మోడల్ లీనియర్ రిగ్రెషన్ మోడల్ ని నేను డైరెక్ట్ గా మోడల్ అని చెప్పేసి రాస్తా. సో బిల్ట్ అయిన మోడల్ అంతా ఈ వేరియబుల్ లో స్టోర్ అయ్యి. ఓకేనా? సో ఇప్పుడు నేను ఐ జస్ట్ నీడ్ టు డూ మోడల్ డాట్ predict. Okay, model dot predict followed by here I need to give x underscore test. Okay, here I need to give x underscore test. Is that clear? ఎందుకు ఇక్కడ x test అని ఇచ్చాను? Sorry, here. Why did I give x test over here? Because ట్రైన్ అయిన మోడల్ ని టెస్ట్ చేయాలి కదా. ఏ వాల్యూస్ మీద టెస్ట్ చేస్తాము? Sorry, one more thing over here. One more thing. So we are doing a regression, right? We learned about a regression problem. We didn't do a classification problem, right? So from sklearn dot what is that? Linear, right? Linear model import. What do we need to import here? What do we need to import here, guys? What do we need to import here? Anyone, any answer? Can I expect any answer from Kishore, Navyashri, Anusha? Linear regression, correct? So because we learned about linear regression, correct? We learned about linear regression, but what did we do until now? What did we do until now? we have divided this in x and y, right? What is the y here? What is y here? No. Even I was in the flow actually. Even you people were not consider. Even you people are not able to identify the things. Species. What is species, Mahadev? Is it a categorical or a numerical? Even I was in a flow. Even in I didn't observe like exactly at time of model building about the things. Yes, correct. Yes, correct. The species column is categorical. Species column is categorical, right? Previously, correct. మనం ఏం చేయాలి? క్లాసిఫికేషన్ చేయాలి. కేటగిరికల్ కాలమ్స్ మీద క్లాసిఫికేషన్ మన టార్గెట్ వేరియబుల్ క్లాసిఫికేషన్ అయితే మనం లేబుల్ ఎన్కోడ్ చేసి క్లాసిఫికేషన్ అల్గోరిథమ్స్ ని కాల్ చేస్తాం. మన టార్గెట్ వేరియబుల్ న్యూమెరికల్ అయితే మనం లేబుల్ ఎన్కోడ్ చేసి న్యూమెరికల్ కాలమ్ ని రిగ్రెషన్ కాబట్టి రిగ్రెషన్ మోడల్స్ ని కాల్ చేస్తాం. లీనియర్ రిగ్రెషన్ వై ఆర్ వి కన్సిడరింగ్ దట్ లీనియర్ రిగ్రెషన్? ఇట్ ఈస్ కంప్లీట్లీ a wrong call. Correct, it is. It is completely a wrong call. As I was in the flow, I didn't even observe like we didn't discuss about this logistic regression, right? So we didn't discuss about logistic regression, right? Let me just change this x and y variables, okay? So instead of the species, I'll just drop petal length, okay? Petal length ni manam predict చేద్దాం, okay na? Petal length is a continuous variable, right? Instead of that, let me just drop this petal length. ఇప్పుడు నేను petal length ని డ్రాప్ చేస్తాను. Then we'll get a updated one and a clear one. Let me just run all the cells, okay? Now, what is the target variable here? Petal length, right? Target variable is convert the categorical into numerical. Yes, Mahadev, we have converted the categorical into numerical, but the thing is, it is actually categorical, right? For model understanding purpose, we have converted it into numerical. That's it. Just a moment, guys. Just a moment. Just give me a minute. Once try to think what exactly I have did over here, please. Okay. So, we need to separate categorical and numerical. Okay. We need to separate independent and dependent columns. So we need to drop the species column now as it is dependent. Yes, as it is dependent because what? Because we were doing a classification problem. And I didn't tell you about the classification, right? I didn't tell you about the classification algorithm. So that is the reason I'm performing regression on this particular data set. We can perform the regression also, okay? We can perform the regression also. ఇప్పుడు నాకు కొత్తగా వచ్చే వాల్యూస్ కి నేను పెటల్ విడ్త్ ని ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాను అంతే. ఇప్పుడు నా దగ్గర ఐ జస్ట్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ యూ, ఓకే? ఐ జస్ట్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ యూ లిసన్ కేర్ఫుల్లీ. ఇప్పుడు నా దగ్గర సెపల్ లెంత్, సెపల్ విడ్త్, పెటల్ విడ్త్, స్పీసీస్ అని ఈ 4 కాలమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఓకేనా? ఆ 4 కాలమ్స్ ని పెటల్ లెంత్ కూడా ఉంది నా దగ్గర. ఇప్పుడు ఈ 2 వాల్యూస్ అండ్ ఆల్సో ఈ 2 వాల్యూస్ ఇచ్చి ఈ పెటల్ లెంత్ ని ప్రెడిక్ట్ చేయొచ్చా? చేయొచ్చు, అబ్సల్యూట్ గా చేయొచ్చు. ఎందుకంటే మనకు విడ్త్ ఉంటుంది, సెపల్ లెంత్ అండ్ సెపల్ విడ్త్ కూడా ఉంటుంది. ఓన్లీ మనం పెటల్ లెంత్ ని ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయొచ్చు. డెఫినెట్లీ చేయొచ్చు, ఎందుకంటే మనకు స్పీసీస్ కూడా ఉంటాయి. ఆ స్పీసీస్ లో ఆ రేంజ్ ఎలా ఉంటుందో ఆ రేంజ్ కి తగ్గట్టుగా ఈ మిగతా వాల్యూస్ ని బేస్ చేసుకొని మనకి పెటల్ లెంత్ అనేది ప్రెడిక్ట్ అవుతుంది. ఇస్ దాట్ క్లియర్? చందు, అభినయ్, మహదేవ్, శ్రీలత, తేజశ్రీ అండ్ Dunda. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Everyone, was the explanation clear to you? ఇప్పుడు నేను ఏం చెప్పాను? మనం క్లాసిఫికేషన్ ప్రాబ్లం డిస్కస్ చేసుకోలేదు కాబట్టి that is the reason I want to show you linear regression directly. If we have discussed the classification algorithm, I could have directly proceeded with the species. Okay, species tone I could have done, but we didn't discuss about the classification algorithm, right? So it is not a good practice to build the algorithm. See, when do you use the dummies, Kishore? When do you use dummies? Get dummies means what? It is completely irrelevant question over here, Prabhu Kishore. The question is not relevant over here. Okay, so please just save your question. Okay, save your question and please ask at the end. Okay, so now everyone understood, right? Need the linear regression model kabatti. Here I am using sepal length, sepal width, petal width, and species as my independent columns. Okay, now, and I am considering petal length as an dependent column. Clear? Clear, everyone? So then I have made this small change, drop petal length, and consider y petal length. Okay, now I'm having all the things which are required. Okay. Okay, fine. So now let me just import the linear regression. Okay. Let me just import the linear regression. Linear regression. Okay. Let's run this. After this, what I need to do? Linear regression ni variable store చేసుకోవాలి కదా. So linear regression ఎలా and linear regression model build చేస్తున్నా కదా. Linear regression model. Then LR అనే వేరియబుల్ లో మోడల్ ఉంది. సో అక్కడ నేను ఆ మోడల్ ని ట్రైన్ డేటా మీద ఫిట్ అవ్వమని చెప్పాలి. సో xtrain, ytrain, and let me just build the model. Now model has been built and it has trained on xtrain and ytrain. Okay, is it clear until here? Everyone, Kishore and everyone. No, Kishore, are you people clear until now, or else are you having any other doubts? Okay, fine. So now what I need to do, I need to predict, right? Pred. Okay. Once I can say pred. Okay. Predictions pred equals to, what is the model name? LR underscore model dot, there is this predict. Okay. There is this predict, and దేని మీద ప్రిడిక్షన్ చేయాలి ఇప్పుడు నేను? Now you people say me on which I need to predict. Okay, Mahadev is saying y, and anyone, on which values do I need to predict? ఏ వాల్యూస్ మీద మనం ప్రిడిక్షన్ చేస్తాము? Okay, I got 2 correct answers from Lalita and Shravani. That is X test. Yeah. of X test. Correct. Okay. ఎందుకు X test రాస్తాము? Anyone have an answer? Why we will be predicting the things on X test? Anyone having any answer? Correct, Venkat Sai. So, because we have y test answers. సో ఇక్కడ మనం ఫస్ట్ మోడల్లో డాటాని ట్రైన్ చేస్తాం. ట్రైన్ చేసిన మోడల్ కరెక్ట్గా అవుట్పుట్ ఇస్తుందా లేదా అని చెప్పేసి మన దగ్గరున్న టెస్ట్ వాల్యూస్ తోని టెస్ట్ చేస్తాం. ఓకేనా? ట్రైన్ చేసిన మోడల్ని టెస్ట్ చేయాలి కదా. ఎలా టెస్ట్ చేస్తామంటే ఎక్స్ టెస్ట్ వాల్యూస్ తోని టెస్ట్ చేస్తాం. ఎందుకంటే మనం ట్రైనింగ్ వేటి మీద అయ్యింది? ఎక్స్10 వాల్యూస్ మీద అయ్యింది, y10 వాల్యూస్ మీద అయ్యింది. టెస్ట్ ఏం చేస్తాం అప్పుడు? మనం ఏదైతే డిపెండెంట్ వేరియబుల్ అవుట్పుట్ కోసం టెస్ట్ చేస్తాం. సో అప్పుడు మనం ఏమి ఇస్తాం ఇన్పుట్కి? ఇండిపెండెంట్ వాల్యూస్ని ఇన్పుట్గా ఇస్తాం. సో ఎక్స్ టెస్ట్లో ఏమేమి ఉంటాయి ఇండిపెండెంట్ వాల్యూస్ అంటే? ద స్పీసీస్, ద సెపల్ లెంత్, సెపల్ విడ్త్ అండ్ ద పెటల్ విడ్త్. ఈ 4 కాలమ్స్ అనేవి ఇండిపెండెంట్ కాలమ్స్. ఆ 4 వాల్యూస్ ఎక్స్ టెస్ట్లో ఉంటాయి. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు సీ, let me just show you over here. X underscore test dot head of 1. See, ఏమేం వాల్యూస్ ఉన్నాయి ఇప్పుడు ఎక్స్ టెస్ట్ లో? సెపల్ లెంత్, సెపల్ విడ్త్, పెటల్ విడ్త్, స్పీసీస్. మనకు వై టెస్ట్ లో ఏముంటాయి? వై టెస్ట్ డాట్ హెడ్ ఓన్లీ పెటల్ లెంత్ ఉంటుంది. మన డిపెండెంట్ కాలం యొక్క వాల్యూ ఒకటే ఉంటుంది. టార్గెట్ కాలం యొక్క వాల్యూ విల్ బి అండర్ వై. ట్రైనింగ్ వాల్యూస్ అన్ని, ఇండిపెండెంట్ కాలం వాల్యూస్ అన్ని ఎక్స్ లో ఉంటాయి. ఓకేనా? సో అందుకే మనము ఫస్ట్ గా మోడల్ ని ట్రైన్ చేశాక టెస్ట్ చేయాలి. దేని మీద టెస్ట్ చేస్తాం అప్పుడు? ఎక్స్ టెస్ట్ అనే వాల్యూస్ ఇచ్చి టెస్ట్ చేస్తాం. ఓకేనా? ఇజ్ ఇట్ క్లియర్ ఎవ్రీవన్? ఇజ్ ఇట్ క్లియర్ ఎవ్రీవన్? Okay, let me just do this spread and see how is that array. Okay, this is how. So for the very first values of this, if we go and check the 73rd value or else the 73rd row, whatever the value inputs which it is happening for these value inputs, this should be the output. Okay, this should be the output. Is that clear? సో ఈ వాల్యూస్ అనేవి ఇన్పుట్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు మనకి ఎగ్జాక్ట్ గా ఇదే ఆన్సర్ అవుట్పుట్ గా వస్తుంది. సో ఇట్ విల్ బి సమ్వేర్ ఓవర్ హియర్ 4.7. Clear? Everyone clear? Okay, this is fine. This one is fine. Okay, ఇప్పుడు నాకు ఒక 4 డిఫరెంట్ వాల్యూస్ మీరే ఇవ్వండి. ఐ విల్ ప్రెడిక్ట్ ద పెటల్ లెంత్. ఓకేనా? LR model and also this accuracy score. I need to say about this accuracy score. Accuracy score, it's not right important because I need to explain the evaluation metrics also. Tomorrow immediately we'll start the evaluation metrics of regression, and then we'll go through the logistic regression. Then we'll go through the evaluation metrics of the classification problem also. Okay. See Chandu, the values are like this. So let me know the values in like in this range only. Okay. Yes, Jagdish, we can do the score. Okay, R2 score we can do, but evaluation metrics I will not do right now because I didn't explain the evaluation metrics and we are having around like 15 minutes of time. Okay, I can say like within 5 minutes, but I just want to make sure everything is clear. Okay, we'll discuss evaluation metrics tomorrow. Okay. So now what you people do is give me four values which are something similar like this, okay? And I will predict, okay? LR model dot predict. Now I will be predicting the values. Let me know the values. Okay. Jagdish is giving what is this validation set? What's the difference between, yeah, I will say that Kusuma. Just wait. I'll say those I'll say that answer. So let me just give 7.1 comma 9.1. I hope in this range are we having the values 8.3 comma 4.2. So let's see. Let me just add it as a, okay, the prediction will be 10. So the petal length will be, I mean, yeah, the petal length will be, yeah, this one should be in 1 to 2, correct. Let me just give one. The petal length is 8.7. Correct. We need to think as per the data. Fine. Understood, Jagdish. Understood, Jagdish, Lakshman, Tejasri. No, no, it's fine. It's totally fine because what are the inputs which are passing? That is a mistake. Okay, everyone will be doing a mistake. That's totally fine. Even I was about to implement a classification model, but by looking at the linear regression, I just got all the things right. It's totally fine. But everyone understood what we did today. We have built a linear regression model successfully. Yeah, it's fine. It's totally fine. Don't worry about that. Okay, it happens. I want response from everyone. Okay, okay, Navya. I mean Navya Sri. I remember. Okay, thank you. Thanks for reminding me. Okay, so it's time to answer your question, Navya Sri. So you're asking about what are all the courses needs to be completed, right? So initially, that NASCOM course was informed to you people, right? So in the NASCOM, what you need to do, you need to register in that STEM course and complete the assessment. And if that assessment is asking for any paid amount, please don't do that paid amount. Okay, please don't do that. It is just for the knowledge purpose. And also one more thing, what was the other thing you were asking about? You're asking about IBM, right? In the IBM, you need to complete all the modules. And after completing all the modules, in each and every module, you'll be having the quiz, complete those quizzes. And then once all the three modules are completed, all the three modules are completed, in the Credly, you will be receiving the certification. Okay, the Credly account, you need to create your Credly account. In the Credly, you will be receiving the certification. Okay, and related to IIC, the people who are registering who are facing issues, please just wait. Okay, please try to register it through a different. I mean, use the same mail ID. Okay, please switch. Switch your servers. Okay, like don't try to hit the website with the same IP, or else try to use incognito when you're trying to register. Okay, and yeah, think these are your queries, right, Naveshri? Did I miss anything? Okay, I'll just check regarding that, Anusha. Okay. Yeah, it's totally fine, Monica. If you're receiving the badge, it's fine. Okay. Naveshri, please once check the badge image. Okay. If you're getting a badge, it's totally fine. And you'll be getting this virtual internship certificate. I mean, this program certificate, right? So don't worry about that. Okay. If it is asking for some paid amount, please don't go through that. Okay. I just answered your query, Naveshri, and also Anusha. And I need to reply for Ganesh. And also Srinivas. Mahadev, it's not possible. Fine. And Srinivas, you're asking today is the only last date for NASCOM Simcoes or rates. Please go through that NASCOM portal once. I'm not sure regarding the last date, okay? Please go through the NASCOM portal once, guys. Okay. So one hot encoding, label encoding. Ganesh, I think I have addressed this query long back on Monday, I guess, but again I will explain, okay? So difference between one hot encoding and label encoding are both used to convert into numerical data. So it's like both are used for converting the numerical data, but what happens is in label encoding, one single whole column, all the values will be encoded into numbers. Correct. That column, only that column will be modified. But here what happens is in one hot encoding, for each and every value, a new column will be created. Okay. For each and every value, a new column will be created, and in whatever row, if that particular value is being repeated, then it will be 1. If not, it will be 0. So let's say in this column we are having 3 values, right? If I do label encoding, in the same column I am getting 0, 1, 2. But what happens in one hot encoding is I will be getting 1. I mean, all the setos of values in one column, all the versicle values in one column, like that I will be getting. I will show you through one of the syntax. Okay, I'll just take one of the syntax and I will just show you. Okay, tomorrow I will show you one hot encoding. Don't worry about that. Okay, okay, okay. Yes, Gautam, please do that. Vaishnavi, I have addressed this one. Regarding this confirmation, please, guys, whoever is not getting any confirmation of the attendance, please just make sure that you're mentioning your email ID properly, okay? Once you have mentioned your email ID, the email ID which you have registered in this program, okay? You need to use the same mail ID, okay? Please use the same mail ID, okay? And one more thing, even I will also inform the team regarding this issue, okay? Don't worry about this, okay? Jagdish, you're saying that in IIC portal there is name and related option to me and make assessments in the student application. I mean, IIC portal there is your institute is not present in the IIC portal. So, Jagdish, once check for any option named others under the same box. So, click on that others and type your institute name. Okay. Anusha, please go through those modules. Okay. Definitely, all the modules will be completed. Okay. Please just go through once and verify that you're marking each and every module as completed. Okay. Each and every module as completed that you're marking. Please confirm those things, please. Then it's totally fine, Srinivas. In that case, it's totally fine. You can register at any time. Okay. I mean, you can work on that course at any time. Okay. Okay, Kusma, you're saying that. Okay, I got your question. Yeah, whatever the topics which we are discussing in the session, please complete as per the assigned task. And also, one more thing is whatever the courses which we were providing the link and which you are doing, and the questions you are getting related to the courses. Okay, those are just the add-ons. Okay, you need to complete those courses in order to make sure you're gaining an extra knowledge. That's it. Okay, gaining an extra knowledge. That's it. You'll be receiving a certification. Okay, if you complete the assigned task, you'll be receiving the certification. Don't worry about the certification, but try to focus on the things which you are working on. Okay, is that clear, Kusuma? Yeah, that is what I have told Mahadev. I'll just check with the team once. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'll inform the team regarding this, Prashanti. Okay, others is not mentioned in it. Okay. Just mention your related affiliated university name. Okay, in that case. If your college is affiliated to Kakinada or else Anantapur, just mention that affiliated university name directly. Is that clear? Clear, Jagdish and Lakshman. And did I clear your query, Naveshri? So, Raghava, if you have already applied to that internship, then it's totally fine. Okay, it's totally fine. You went through application correctly. Maybe you could have already applied to that selected internship. Okay, don't worry. Demo PDFs. What are you talking, Ashok? I'm not getting. And also, a student manual is updated. Okay, please download that and view. Okay, please download that and view. Let me just share my screen. I mean, my whole screen. Okay. Yeah. In the drive link, all those handouts have been uploaded, Ashok. Okay. In the drive link, all the handouts have been uploaded. If you just Tejas sir will upload the drive link once again. Okay. Don't worry. And coming to the student manual, please go through the student manual. Okay. Regarding the sign up and login in the Institute Industry Connect. Okay. IIC portal. Please just refer to this document. Okay. Refer to the document, and in the under the institute name, if you're not finding an institute, uh, if your college is affiliated to any university like JNTUK or else JNTUA, in that case you can mention your uh, institute under that particular university. Okay, it's totally fine. If there is no MSc, is there any WhatsApp group regarding this internship? There is no separate groups, Prabhu. There is one single Telegram group in which we all are present. Okay, and just one more minute, guys. One more minute. Don't leave. Just a moment. So I have created a poll regarding today's session. Okay, please let me know the things. I mean your views today's poll. Yes, Usha. And Mahadev, if your friend has given wrong details, please make sure that tell your friend to register properly, okay? With a proper email ID which she was using, okay? She or he are using, okay? And coming into Jagdish, your query, it's only for bachelors. In that form, there is no MSc, only BSc colleges and institutions are in the front. Okay, that case, actually, okay, you people are MSc, but actually in this course, so mostly the BSc people, I mean, the bachelor's people are present in this course. Okay, so I need to inform the team once if there is a possibility of that MSc. Okay, 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 Jagdish and Lakshman, I will inform the team to once resolve those kind of issue. Okay, because you are from MSc, but this course is completely for BSc. So I'll just inform the team once. And Venkat sir. Yeah, Venkat sir, yeah, please once check your internet connection also. It's just 1 MB or 2 MB, I think. Okay, and any other doubts? Anyone? Prabhu Kishore, Naveshri, and others? Yeah, please do that, Tusha. Yeah, so whatever the notebook which we are done with, I will be uploading that in the drive, okay? I'll be uploading that in the drive. But I will also, I mean, the same file will be updated tomorrow also, okay? The links have already updated, Shivani. Please check the previous messages. Yes, correct, Lakshman. So I'll just check with the team. That is what I told you. I have already answered that query, Chandra. I think this is it. It's already 4:34. I think I have answered every query. Okay, fine. If I miss anyone's query, please inform me in the tomorrow session. Okay. Please inform me in the tomorrow session. Okay, fine. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Please inform me tomorrow if I have missed any queries, please. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.